Welcome back to Oakland Connection. I'm County Commissioner Tim Burns. I'm here with two guests from Cooley Law School, Dustin Foster and Ashley Lowe. Thanks for being on the show today.
It's a pleasure.
So I know Cooley Law School used to be based in Lansing, but now there's a campus in Auburn Hills, right?
That's right. It's actually still based in Lansing, but there are now 3 branch campuses. One here in Auburn Hills, one in Grand Rapids, and most recently one in Ann Arbor.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about the law school and what you do there.
Well, the law school, the branch campus where we work is at Auburn Hills, and it is a fully accredited branch campus. So it's like its own little law school there with the benefits of being part of a larger school.
And that's Oakland University.
Right. It's not. It used to be located on Oakland University's campus. Now it is on Featherstone Road, so just down the road from there.
Right. Okay.
Right. And both Dustin and I teach in the clinic department. I was hired in 2006 to develop the clinical programs at the Auburn Hills campus because we were just getting to that point.
Right. And for those of you people in the audience who might not be familiar with that, tell us a little bit about what a clinical program actually is.
A clinic is for law students. They're generally in their last few semesters of the program, and they are making that transition from being law students to being lawyers. So they get to in the in-house clinics, they get to actually practice under a special court rule where they get to go into court and argue for clients and advise them, always supervised by a lawyer.
Okay. And Dustin, what does your clinic focus on?
My clinic is the estate planning clinic, and we focus on providing free legal services to seniors in Oakland County. So we service those that are 60 and older, that have assets of $150,000 or less for a single individual, excluding the homestead, and $250,000 for a couple, excluding their homestead or residence as well. And part of those estate planning documents that we provide are wills, medical powers of attorney, financial powers of attorney. We do, on occasion, some additional documents as well as needed. Okay, and do you ever have people feel uncomfortable with the students doing the work, or how does that normally work out? We've been very fortunate. Actually, believe for both clinics, the clients are very appreciative and very respectful of the students and happy. And the feedback that I've been receiving is that they are actually very excited to have the students. I think they get the benefit of both worlds because they have the students doing the work, plus they have the oversight of the supervising attorneys. Right. So they're really getting a double check on all their work. Okay. And do you have any memorable cases that you can tell us about? Well, recently we've had a string of emergencies, which I think is always memorable in that you have people that are close to death, have not had the opportunity to take care of their planning, and now have the peace of mind that their property is going to pass the way they want it to. They have people making end-of-life decisions for them so that they're comfortable when that time comes. Right. Okay. And, what are some advice you might give to people if they're thinking they might need some estate planning and they're trying to decide, should I go to the clinic or should I call an attorney? That's a good question. First, and this is my opinion, and I think it really emanates from the students as well, is everybody should have some estate planning. Right. Okay. Everybody should have at least a document that says, if I pass away, this is what happens with my property, this is who it goes to, and that would be a will. And then everybody should have a financial power of attorney and a medical power of attorney, because these documents will say, I want my agent to make decisions for me when I can't make financial decisions or if I can't make medical decisions, so they get carried out for them. As far as going to an attorney or to the clinic, a lot of it just depends on their financial wherewithal and what kind of assets they have. But I think you're going to get good representation either way. Right. We would really, our target audience is really those people that wouldn't otherwise be able to afford an attorney. And we want to offer them the services because we think everybody should have those documents. And how would someone contact you if they wanted to use your services? We can be contacted either through Lakeshore Legal Aid as a referral through them, or they can contact the school directly, the Thomas M. Cooley Law School at Auburn Hills, and ask for the estate planning clinic. We also do various outreach projects at community centers throughout Oakland County, and so they can watch their local community centers and also try to catch up with us at that time. Do you ever go to people's homes, or they need to go to one of the community centers when you're there in town? As far as the intake goes, we have done some home intakes. Our preferred method is to do them on campus in the clinic,
Okay.
We actually are fortunate enough to have some funds to be able to provide transportation to those that otherwise can't provide themselves transportation to the clinic.
Okay.
We are fairly centrally located in Oakland County, so most people are able to get transportation there. The other fortunate aspect with Cooley Law School is we now have public transportation bus system that comes through campus, and so some people are able to take the public transportation as well.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about the Family Law Clinic now.
So the Family Law Clinic is designed to help people who are low income and have family law cases in Oakland County Circuit Court.
Okay.
So that generally means divorce, custody, paternity, guardianship cases, and personal protection orders. So helping people get safe from domestic violence.
Okay. And what are some criteria that someone would be eligible for the services?
For our clinic, it's an income and asset-based clinic. So we look first at somebody's income. Are they at the federal poverty level? That's what we're looking at 200% of the federal poverty level. Also, that they don't have significant assets outside of that. But that's our criteria.
Okay. Now, we had Haven on the show a few months ago. Do you do any work with domestic violence and helping people out through the clinic?
Yeah, we work very closely with Haven. We do everything from cross-training. We train their people. They train our students.
Okay, great.
And we also cross-refer a lot of people who are their clients are our clients as well.
Okay. Have you had any real memorable cases or anything that comes to mind that you really are proud of your students for accomplishing through the clinic?
Yeah, we just had something really exciting last week. A client came to us and had sought a personal protection order through the court, and it was denied, and they set it for a hearing. And so she came to us. We got a student involved, and she prepared the client. She did a full evidentiary hearing at the courthouse, and the client obtained a personal protection order. So she's safe from a batterer. The story was really horrible, and she was in a great deal of danger. So it will really make a difference in her life.
And this was a law student who actually represented her. Were you up there with her at the time, or was there another attorney who volunteered?
There was another. We have 2 staff attorneys in the Family Law Project, and so one of those staff attorneys was with her in court. Actually, both were there. Just one was watching and one was participating. But the student does most of the work. The student is the one who's puts the witnesses on. She makes the argument, but the attorney is there just in case things break down, and the attorney can pick up whenever there's any reason to.
So I've had a lot of people recently asking me about what the difference is or what do they need when it comes to living wills, and they said there's other alternatives and different things they should potentially have written up for them. Can you tell us a little bit about what they really need?
Yes. Really what they need is what's called a patient advocate designation. Okay? What most people confuse is a living will with a patient advocate designation. A living will is just an expression of your desires on how you want to be treated for end-of-life decisions. You don't appoint anybody to carry out those desires. A patient advocate designation is actually the appointment of a patient advocate and an agent to carry out your wishes and desires for end-of-life decision. So your patient advocate designation actually includes the same terms that you would include in a living will, except you appoint a patient advocate to carry out those terms. Unfortunately, if you just have the living will without the appointment of an agent, it may not be recognized in the state of Michigan, and your wishes may not be followed.
So in Michigan, just to clarify, you should really have this patient advocate or patient designation.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, that's some great information. We appreciate the work you're doing with the law students at Cooley Law School. And again, I encourage people, if you need some assistance, contact Cooley Law School for help. And thank you for being on the show today and for the good work you're doing.